I'd like to share the Word of God again. Today, our devotion will be in Matthew chapter 5, verse 7. Let me read Matthew chapter 5, verse 7. And it says, "Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy." So, Jesus speaks about being merciful towards others. To understand more about mercy, let me remind you of the story of the Good Samaritan. Perhaps some of you have heard of the story. There was a man who was traveling and was attacked, robbed, beaten, and left for dead. A priest happened to be going down the same road, and when he saw the man, he passed by on the other side. So, to a Levite, when he came to the place and saw him, saw the need, but he also passed by. Then Jesus says, "But a Samaritan came to where he was, and when he saw him, he had compassion." You will see the story in Luke chapter 10, verse 33, about the Samaritan. The story goes on. He went to him and bound up his wounds, pouring on oil and wine. At the end of the story, Jesus asked, "Which of these three proved to be a neighbor to the man who fell among the robbers?" The answer, "The one who showed him mercy." This is a parable about mercy, and Jesus says mercy has two parts. First, there is a tenderness of heart. When he saw him, he had compassion. Second, there is action. He went to him and bound up his wounds and pouring on oil and wine. In Greek, mercy is more than just compassion towards others who are less fortunate. It also includes taking action and being kind. So, Jesus said, "Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy." So, the question is, how can mercy be obtained? Because when it comes to obtaining mercy from God, you cannot earn it by being merciful. First, by definition, mercy is granted, not earned. If you were able to earn it, it would be considered wages and not mercy. Second, God's mercy towards you began long before you were capable of even expressing compassion. Humans, as rebel against God because of our selfishness. But since the beginning of our lives, God's mercy has been extended to every one of us because of His patient and long suffering nature. The Lord here is not talking about the reason or basis of our acceptance to God, but He is speaking of the fruit or the result of having been accepted by God. To put it simply, we experience God's mercy through living in mercy. There is an inward benefit. The Lord is referring to a blessing that we experience in our hearts, a blessing that comes to us in the way of being merciful. If a person is not merciful, then it shows that they do not have a righteousness that surpasses that of the Pharisees. They are not true Christians. They will not receive God's mercy. We receive mercy from others. That is also the meaning of this. Your treatment with others will determine how you will be treated. God calls us to be merciful. So where and how can I be merciful? Remember the story of the Good Samaritan who opened his heart to a person in need and did something to help him. Maybe you see someone in need of your help and God has touched your heart to help. You help, that's an act of mercy. Perhaps someone has hurt, injured, or wronged you, and you have a chance to take revenge. You chose to forgive instead of retaliating. That's what mercy does. If your heart is filled with mercy, you will pray for the lost and share the gospel with them. When someone commits a sin, your heart breaks and you are concerned for their situation and want to help them get back on the right path. Paul tells us in Galatians chapter 6 verse 1, "Brethren, If a man is overtaken in any trespass, you who are spiritual, restore such a man in a spirit of gentleness, considering yourself, lest you also be tempted. God bless. That's the end of our devotion. And hey, if you haven't followed or subscribed yet, please follow or subscribe to receive more devotional message. God bless.